Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In these videos, I show you how to make one tangle pattern using the Zentangle method of drawing. So today we are doing the tangle pattern called Loop, and this is by Christina Vandervlist, CZT. Loop. I love it. Okay, we are using a 2" by 2" paper tile from Zentangle.com. These are called bijou tiles. I'm also using my Micron pen. This is a PN plastic nib pen. I'm using a graphite pencil and a little blending tool. Okay, let's flip this little one over. And before we get started, I want to show you on a piece of scrap paper a couple of things. So this first thing we're going to do today is put in a circle, and this circle is going to be about the width of my pen or about the width of a pencil, just so you have an idea. And the way that she decorates this is she puts in a little double line, and then she adds in another one going in a different direction, and she lifts her pen when she gets to the first one. So the second one looks like it's tucking in behind. And then she might even do a third one. So that's how she designs the middle, but I'm gonna do something different. So what I'm going to do is just put in this little reflection. Another option would be to do a spiral. Or, this is one I love as well, put in a circle inside of it and add this little space for reflection, and then ink this in. So lots of options for the center. Again, I'm using this one, but you use whichever one you love. Then we're going to make some loops, which is why it is named Loop, spelled in such a cute way. So I'm going to make this kind of an oval shape loop. And then we're going to aura, or go alongside that first line. The next time we add a loop, it's going to cross under and come out the other side, and then we go up and go tuck underneath and come out the other side. So we're going to have these layers of loops. Okay, all right, let's get started. I'm going to place my circle. It could be anywhere on the tile, but I'm going to place mine up in this top left quadrant, but leaving room to put some loops around it. Again, about the width of my pencil. And I'm going to put in that cute little reflection. Choose anything that you want for this. Okay, I'm going to begin with my first loop, but instead of using pen, I'm going to use a pencil to help guide me. So I want this first loop to take up most of that top right corner. So I'm going to begin at the circle, and I'm going to bump out and come back in. Then I can trace it in ink and add that aura. The aura can go on the inside or the outside, depending on where you have the room. Okay, I like that one so far. All right, I'm going to put one up here. And for this one, I think I'm going to go from this spot, bump up and over just a little, and add that aura in between. Okay, now here comes kind of the fun part. We're going to do some layering. So I'm going to put one right here. Now that we're having to cross through several, if you want to use your pencil, you can pencil in where you want that one to go. And then you can take your pen, follow it, but lift when you get to an already existing line. And add in the aura. I love how that one looks like it's behind those. All right, I'm going to go back to this side over here. I'm going to add another one. And I don't want these to all line up so perfectly. I want them to get kind of bunched up a little bit. I want them to be different lengths and sizes. So this one I'm going to come really close to that edge and then come in. I made it really thin, not very big. Then aura either the inside or the outside of that one. Okay, I'm going to put a large one out here in the corner for now, and then I'll go back and fill things in. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to come down nice and wide because I really want that to be a nice space filler. Add in that aura. Again, it works on the inside, it also works on the outside. All right, I'm going to do one that comes all the way out to this corner, and it's going to kind of come down through here. So I might have to add another one in there later. But I'm going to take my pencil and see how this looks. I want one to come like this. And let it cross through a few. I actually think I want that to be wider, so I'm going to do a nice big one. Yeah, look at that. Look at that nice big one that I made. Purposely making a big one so that it has to cross over all these other ones. When I'm auraing, I'm just lifting my pen at each other loop. All right, I'm going to do another one. You can pencil this one in. I'm just freehanding it. That looks good. And I need a couple more on this side. So again, you can do it in pencil or you can freehand. feel like I need one more in this space. Remember I made that one really wide and now I feel like it needs something. So I'm gonna come out and do a thinner one. Okay, oh, I like how that looks. All right, now just for fun, we can add some little embellishments before we shade. So this is all you need to do to create the tangle loop. And you could just keep going. You could keep adding more of these in there, but I think I'm gonna stop for time's sake. And I'm gonna show you how to add a fun little embellishment. So we could take one of these loops and fill it with tiny little orbs or circles. Isn't that cute? I think I'm going to do this one back here as well. Just a fun way to add some texture to all of these little loops. All right, I need to do one more, I think. Maybe I'll do this one that the very last one I made. No, I think I'm gonna do this big wide one. And I tend to rush a little bit on these 15-minute videos, so please feel free to pause it and catch up because I do draw kind of quickly on these. You could also do zigzags if you wanted to, or little polka dots, or very delicate striping. But I kind of like these little orbs. And what that adds. Isn't that pretty? All right, another embellishment is I'm gonna add some little bubbles that look like the center. So just every once in a while, I'm gonna put in a tiny little bubble and maybe even a double. So two of them side by side. Okay, I like that a lot. All right, I'm going to initial it and then I'm going to do some shading. I think I'm going to thicken this circle a little bit and kind of clean up those lines that came into it. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I'm going to take my eraser and erase those loops that I made in pencil, just because you can see some of them. Okay, let's add some shading. So to shade this one, I'm going to go all the way around that circle in the middle and put some graphite. And then very gently just push it up into those loops. Okay, that looks good. Looks like those loops are kind of tucking down in there. And now the kind of tricky part, but also fun, is you take each loop and wherever it goes over another loop, you add these little shadows. So see how that goes over that one? It also goes over this one. So I'm going to put graphite on each side of those lines. And then when I push them out and away, it just gives that tiny illusion of it being on top and creating a shadow. So I'm just going to go loop to loop. I'm going to take this next one. It goes over this. It goes over this. And that one. And you might miss one. It doesn't matter. Take this beaded loop. It goes over this one. And that's it. This loop in the back doesn't go over any. This loop here goes over that one. It goes under this one, so we need those little bits on the outside. So just go around and play with putting a little bit of graphite on the outside edge of where they overlap. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I like to take my graphite pencil and add just some little curves inside these little loop areas. Not every one, but look at those cute little shadows it makes. I also like to add some on the bubbles, just so they're not flat and white. And then on the left side of that middle circle. And the last thing I'm going to do is take my pencil and I'm going to very lightly sketch in like a tiny thin little pencil frame. I'm doing it so lightly and so not even consistently, just sort of putting it in there. But then I can take my blending tool and soften that a little bit. And I didn't use pen, but look at that pretty little frame that's happening now. I'm just jumping over some of the spots that I drew, even though it wouldn't matter if I didn't jump. Okay, do you like it? That is Loop. Here's another one that I did where I made that center a little bit darker, like put in that little dark area. Isn't that fun? Like this one needs some shading down in those little crevices as well. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that so much, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, bye-bye.